So, just to talk over it a little bit, this scene was actually made with the music first, which was made by this French electronica group. It's called Alone in Kyoto, by the artist Air. I believe they're French. So that track was made first, and then this footage was all edited to the track. So you get these really nice synchronous points where instruments come in and out, and then you have important changes in the image. Not too much sound design, we just got a little bit right there with the paper being tied, which is a form of prayer. That's pretty much the end. So just to point out a couple of things about the way that this is constructed and what's effective about it. You have more sound design at the beginning, the sound of the trains moving, sounds in the train station. You just have this very atmospheric musical texture. And whenever we get that shot of being really grounded in a place in Kyoto, we get this pizzicato sound, strings, to kind of really ground us in the image. And that's a beautiful editing, because we get two things that really come in at that one point. So we have this Japanese maple that comes into view, and whenever we get this shot, this first beautiful shot of green in this park, in this temple, that's the first time we get two things. We get this temple kind of blah, very beautiful electronic keyboard sound, and we get acoustic guitar doing bum da 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 for the first time together with that edit. It's such a lovely edit. Let's check that out. Okay, so my audio's being a real turd, so I have to do this. So that moment right there, very well edited together, very effective in how the music, how the sound and the image go together. There's one other big musical development that I want to bring out to your attention, which is whenever we get this wedding processional, the first close-up shot we get is coordinated with this kind of pulsing figure right here. And so this has to do with the storytelling in Lost in Translation. Sofia Coppola's character is really wondering about her relationship with her, I think he's a fiance at this point, and she feels disconnected from him and is kind of trying to find herself. So that coordination of all these musical layers coming in whenever we see this traditional Japanese wedding procession is a very subtle yet beautiful way to highlight some of the main themes of the film, with that extra musical content being added in that one spot. So it's really, really great storytelling in that way. So with film scoring, there we can see some different techniques that were used. Let's check out a completely different scene. Kill Bill, volume, I think this is from volume 2? Yeah, volume 2. Fight scene with Pai Mei. Meeting Pai Mei for the first time.
出招！如果我輸俾你嘅話，我今日鬼就拜你為師。
Yes.
睇到我功夫咧，試我腳法啊！ 你嘅劍術只係屬一般業餘嘅水平。
The sound design is
殘廢比你強，再嚟啊！
So just to pause right there, all of the sound design, all of the hits, all of the impact is super exaggerated. We have this throwback tribute to 60s, 70s Kung Fu made in Hong Kong and made in the States. And so every single punch is this super exaggerated sound design. And then we get these music cues at special points, like whenever Pai Mei jumps on the sword, we get this this like pan flute overblowing kind of thing, which is so great. Let's keep watching.
廢物！我已經俾機會你睇下識咩武功，我睇到啦，你一啲都唔會。而家我要你用科學拳同我鷹爪拳比試下。
The double bass. And now we have a music track. Made by RZA, the music director. Okay, that's we'll just end it there. So whenever the fight scene, the real fight scene starts, we get this hi-hat as the intro to our funk song. And this funk song has a bunch of layers. And this addition of funk, we've got like full disco string section, electric bass, drum set, horn section. So it's really like a funk disco thing that we have going on, and it works so well with the fight scene because it's this throwback to this 70s era kung fu movie. So we have single points or stingers where we have different content that matches, synchronizes to things in the image. And then we have more just like tracks, which are pre-made musical things for the film that then are, the film is edited to those things actually. So in the beginning section, for example, with the sword jumping, we have a stinger, and then where the music is made and then it's just edited to the image afterward. And then once we get into this fight scene, we have a music track that the film is edited to so that it matches it. So those are a couple different techniques that we've seen even just in these couple examples. The basic idea, this is my idea, by the way, is that really we have two basic ways of doing scoring. And on one end, all the way at one end, we have Mickey Mousing, which is just synchronizing everything to everything. Every single movement on the image has a sound, and it's always like that. It's kind of tiresome, and it's cliche now a lot of the time. And then we have the complete opposite end of the spectrum where the sound and the music could be disconnected. They could be completely different from each other. It could even be a mashup or a collage of things that aren't supposed to go together, but they get smashed together. So as an example of Mickey Mousing, let's check out some Tom and Jerry. It's more fun to check out than Mickey Mouse, in my opinion. And I think it needs me to do this again. Does it? Yeah. So every single thing on the screen has both a music cue and sound design. Now, what's amazing about this is that the technique of the way the composer, the performers, the conductor actually did this. Because in Hollywood, back in the day, no computers, right? This piece was made in 1944. So what they did is they would have the image, the cut of the animation. They would go into a scoring studio so that it was projected large up on the screen. The conductor would look at the screen, and then the conductor would have a bunch of cues written by the composer in the score. And those cues would have different tempo markings. So like, let's say this chase that happened over here. Let's see. I think it started about right here. Yeah, I can't find it at the moment. So right here. So that is one cue. And then they have another cue. So these are all just notated musical pieces. And then the conductor and the musicians together in real time sync everything up to the image. Which the craftsmanship of that is just amazing to be able to do that in real time, and it's so convincing because the musical writing syncs up really well with the character of the image. Also, all of the songs and tunes in this, most of them, some of them are original, but most of them are actually references to pop music at the time, and so the craftsmanship there, compositionally, is just amazing. So that's one type of one way that you can score films, right? You can do everything completely synchronized, and it's kind of cartoony and fun, but it's also kind of a aesthetically limited, let's say, way to do things. The opposite end of the spectrum is known as juxtaposition, or two things that are placed close together, and usually that have a contrasting effect. So like, here are some of the favorite ones I found on the internet. Dream and Dead End, yes. This one, yeah, that one's pretty unfortunate. And this one, which people often say is probably photoshopped. I don't know, it probably is, but I just love it so much. So the same thing that you can do with an image, with two images or two things within an image, you can also do this with sound and image. So if you have the same image, different scores will completely change the experience of it. So let's check out a puppy video, and I'll show you how this can work, the potential of how this can work with a puppy video. All right, so first, just watching it without sound. It's a bunch of cute puppers. Yeah, just want to scratch them. So whenever I watch this, I feel alive. I feel full of joy. I want to frolic in the field with these amazing golden retriever puppies. I feel like the coronavirus never happened. Like I'm just, you know, I'm the star in The Sound of Music or something. So actually, this puppy video was made containing a bunch of references. Well, one big reference, which is to this famous scene from the classic film Apocalypse Now, where we have these helicopters flying into combat in Vietnam, and there's a tape machine on the helicopters, and they are playing The Ride of the Valkyries by Richard Wagner.
Big Duke 6 Eagle thrust. Put on Cywar up. Sing it loud.
Cywar
The Romeo
up.
Foxtrot. Shall we dance?
Super famous scene in the history of film. Yeah, epic. So anyways, that coordination of sound and image is just this like epic feeling, right? It's like they're the Valkyries coming down from Valhalla to fight. So that's actually what they originally cut this puppy video to. So let's check that out. So this piece is in 3/4, and most of the cuts that happen, they're so cute, they're off to battle. Most of the cuts that happen in this are to the music. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, cut, 2, 3, cut, 2, 3, and 1. Or some of them are on the 8th, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So not all of them, but a lot of them are. And of course, the big cut whenever the trombones come in, dun 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 dun, trombones and horns, I believe. That's when we get all the puppies together in this glorious herd of puppydom, which is similar. It really references the cut in Apocalypse Now. That first wide shot we get of all the helicopters. It's edited very well. It's ridiculous that a puppy video is this well constructed, actually. So if we think about juxtaposition, that is, things that go against the image to create a different effect, I thought it would be interesting if we tried some other sounds with this. So I took a piece by the band Self. It's a cover of What a Fool Believes. Very cutesy. Let me get these synced up. it's even cutesier. It takes the original puppy image and it makes it like, it amps it up even more. It doesn't make it unique, you know, it's not like very contrasting with the image, but it does make it cuter somehow. So on my Facebook, I asked all my Facebook friends, composer friends, to recommend what a great track would be with this puppy video. And one of my friends, Ryan Fellhauer, recommended Big Papa by Notorious B.I.G. So let's watch the puppy video with Big Papa playing in the background here.
Oh, check it out.
I like this.
Now, to all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping Moet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking holes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music lasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes, see notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the truth. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby.
Okay, so I'm sure you can tell that I love this very much. It gets me every time. Like, I just, something about the tempo of the music, dum 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 dum, works well with the sort of slow-mo in the, and it's also the, like, these cute puppies getting mixed with like the club scene with Notorious B.I.G., right? It's this great juxtaposition that makes it funnier, makes it just makes it really work in this great way. So this is basically a mashup of the puppies with something else. So if you want to do some video scoring, like you have to in some of my classes, let's say, then think about, for picking your clip, think about what style of music you want to make or sound design you want to make, and then think about which clip could go well with that. So it could be that you want to make some hip hop, but you want it to be kind of an interesting juxtaposition, so then you find a puppy video, for example. Or maybe you want to make something really cutesy and fun, and you want it to go with the image together. So you make some cutesy music, and you do it to a puppy video, right? So what scoring, what kinds of things are important to you creatively, aesthetically, and how can you explore that further in your own creative work? And thinking about watching one clip and thinking about what are all the ways that I could put music with this or sound design with this. What can I do with this to do something interesting artistically? So don't choose something that's too long or potentially challenging. Usually, if you just want to score something small, don't pick something with text, no talking, or even something where you could easily cut out all the talking and it wouldn't be a problem. That's actually really important because talking is just not fun to listen to if you're trying to listen to the music behind something. Yeah, so maybe you put some reggae behind a scene of The Godfather, or you get some Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, this really creepy movie with Nicolas Cage. I want to show you guys this, by the way. Let's see, it was from Studio Memes. Yep, that's the one. It was on Facebook. Yeah, anyways. I saw this Nicolas Cage Sonic one. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So now that you can't erase that from your brain ever again. So maybe you want to take Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, and put some kind of funk behind it, which would be different rather than the really up-tempo kinds of things that Sonic usually has. So the way to do this is to edit down a video. Short, something attainable would be like 1 to 3 minutes. Go import it into a DAW, a digital audio workstation, and then create markers at different time points that are important. And then you build your MIDI composition or your sound design on top of those. So choosing moments to emphasize, edit out things that are superfluous, that don't really matter, to make it really work. So the example I'm going to show you, I took the train scene from Spirited Away, did a screen recording of it. It's not very high resolution, but maybe I'll do it better someday. I edited it down in Adobe Premiere Pro. From 12 minutes down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is a part of the film Spirited Away where it keeps cutting back and forth between different timelines, different storylines. So I wanted just to make it one continuous storyline. And then choosing the moments to emphasize, I then imported this into Pro Tools. And within Pro Tools, I made, let me make this bigger for you. So I made, kind of scared me. I made, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 different markers at different points in the video that I wanted to do something with with my score. And mind you, I'm watching this with the music off. So that I can imagine my own thing going on with it. And then build your scoring concept based around these markers, coordinated with your markers. So for me, I wrote some basic themes. One is da dun 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 da. And then around that, I wrote a bunch of different chord progressions that go on top of it. I wrote some variations on it and some melodies to go over it. I then put those into notation software. This is into Finale, and composed a piece for orchestra based on the things that I wanted to do in the film. So then I took that Finale file, exported it to MIDI, and imported that information into Logic. And coordinated the MIDI instruments, into Pro Tools. This is Pro Tools. I also recorded some other acoustic instruments on top in order to make this complete score. So let's check out this score of mine. You gotta see that again, yeah. Okay, so let me get the audio going correctly here. So a couple other things about this are that I had so the things that I recorded in real time, like made my own samples of, were all the percussion, so chimes, timpani, gongs, vibraphone, and then also the acoustic guitar. So you can see how I changed the tempo and I changed the musical content. So there we go, here are all my tempo changes based on the structure of what I was watching. In particular, there's this one spot, it's right here in the session, where the train slows down, some people get off the train and then the train starts back up again. And I just had a really simple musical idea. When the train slows down, dun 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 dun, bong. And then I bring in some percussion, some gongs and timpani and stuff, do do do. And then I have a little hook, dun dun dun, and then dun 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 dun. I bring the motive back in and it speeds up a bit for us to get back into the train moving through space section. So this whole project probably took me, I want to say between 10 and 20 hours or something like that of work. Rough estimate. I'm not completely sure about that, but it's not like a concert piece, so I would definitely spend more time on that if it were. So this is a good amount of background about video scoring, some different examples, some different techniques that you can think about whenever you're doing it. For my next stream, my next video, I'm going to show you how to actually do some video scoring. I'm going to show techniques in Logic, in Reaper, and maybe also in Pro Tools if people are interested. And I'll just show you how to do that in each of those pieces of software. So for now, I'm signing off.